Alrighty, what up Ferrari fans? The SCUDERIA 21 here, and welcome to the very first video of my channel. I'm going to take this short moment to pretty much explain what it is I want to do with my channel. Now, I am just a regular dude that loves cutting laps on Forza 7 online, mainly public hoppers. I do a little bit of league racing, but mainly public hoppers just due to my lifestyle. I don't have too much time to invest in all those big time races, which I would love to, but at the moment I don't think I've got the skill level nor the time to be able to devote to that. So basically, why have I chosen this particular Ferrari that you see in the shot here, the beautiful 512 TR? Well, when I was about 6 years old, my dad gave me a 1/18 scale model of a Ferrari Testarossa, a beautiful red gorgeous piece of kit that from that day I pretty much was hooked on Ferrari. In any racing game I always looked to be the Ferrari. Formula 1 I looked to be the Ferrari, Need for Speed, what have you, always about Ferrari. So in Forza 7 there is no Ferrari Testarossa, however there is the beautiful updated version, the more sexy 512 TR. So I thought for the first race, or the first video I should say, I'm going to bring you action of the car, my first true love, as you would have seen on the thumbnail. Also, just before we start, I want to let you guys know, as I said, this is my first video. I don't really have the best recording equipment nor audio equipment like my microphone stuff, so please leave a message, leave comments I should say, down in the comment section below whether this was cancerous for your ears, you know, listening to me talk or the way I edit the videos. Let me know. I really do want to put out some cool Ferrari content out there on YouTube. So do let me know. And at the end of the video there is going to be an outro with basically what I have in the pipeline for my channel. So if you don't even feel like watching this video, but if you want to skip right to the end, you'll see a quick 1-minute video of a montage of different things that I've got in the pipeline for the SCUDERIA 21. So hopefully guys you enjoy it. Hopefully it's not too damaging for your eyeballs nor for your ears, and let's get straight to it, guys. Alright, so we find ourselves at VIR at a 14-man grid S-Class, and just about to take the start of the race, and yep, this happens. I thought I had an amazing start, but it turns out no, I had an amazing internet. So after a few minutes I found myself in an A-Class lobby at Spa-Francorchamps. Once again, starting in last, because when you first get into a lobby you're going to start last and then make sure you get a good lap time, so then the next race you start further up the grid. So coming into the first corner, always cautious. Pretty much any first corner on Forza you want to take a lot of caution, but this one in particular because it's so tight. Make a little bit of argy-bargy, but we're pretty safe through there. Now coming up to Eau Rouge, you really want to take a lot of caution, keeping an eye on the proximity arrows behind you, because you never know when someone's going to come and do that, smash up the ass. But also you need to keep an eye on the people in front of you, making sure that they're taking somewhat of a decent speed, carrying I should say, carrying a bit of decent speed through the top of the Eau Rouge section to make sure that we all get through there safely. So here we got a guy on the left there catching right up to the Caterham, doing the right thing, not just smashing him out of the way, you know, kept it clean. Me, a little bit rough there, and I got a little bit of a tap from the other guy, so you know, sort of, what would you say, a little bit of payback for that. Cutting the grass a little bit there because I wasn't too sure what's happening behind me. You never know when at the start of the race, you really don't know what is going to happen, especially in Forza. You don't know if someone's just going to come weighing in way too hard, not knowing where to brake, or just being a complete 100% troll. So it's always an iffy tiptoe sort of lap, any first lap in Forza 7. Now as we come through Pouon, the great name, we do run it pretty good, but as we can see the proximity arrows were there and then they sort of just carry off. Now coming into these S's here, they glow straight back up again and give me a nice whack. But not too bad. Sort of throws me off into the next corner, but that could be just me getting a little bit nervous. Run, hit the sand trap, and that just slows down all my momentum. So now it's a fight for fourth. At some point we passed the guy in third, because before that guy passed me I was in fourth, and then he passed me and I'm still in fourth. So at some point back there a guy must have gone off or quit or whatever, and we are sitting in fourth position. So as we climb the hill towards the bus stop, the next corner coming up here, the sweeper to the left, is very hard to just get right. So you touch the ripple strip but ran a bit wide. This 512 TR is not every tune that I tried in A or S class. The Ferrari 512 TR wasn't a very super solid car. It wasn't bad, it was good. If you're in a lobby with regular drivers, you know, it does alright. But if you're in a lobby with pretty fast guys in fast cars, then it's going to be hard to be competitive. But it was a good car overall. Very stiff in general, I would say. It's just a stiff car. So as we come down this straight here, this is pretty much the last time we're super close or close enough to the Caterham, so I just skip ahead and we ended up finishing fourth. Alrighty guys, we find ourselves in the same lobby, starting pole position. I think the fast guys in the previous race at Spa just dropped out. So we find ourselves in pole position, get a great start, get a good gap before we hit the first corner. These first two corners are very tricky to get right. Your braking point, your turn-in point, what gear to be in, they're definitely not an easy corner. Not so much for the carnage factor, but just for the technicality of them. Then you come through here to the S's in a stiff car, always a trick to get right, turning in and accelerating and whatnot. Now, as we come into the left-hander, a Lotus at least comes weighing in quite heavily, but fair enough, you know, whatever, that's cool, makes for a good video, I guess. So as we try to keep the train flowing, we got the proximity arrows behind us glowing ever more orange, and we just climbed the hill, coming into the first decklink. We're just catching up to the back of Druid. Now this is a lunge of the century, if you will, but at the same time, look, I come weighing in. I really didn't think it was going to work. It looked like I touched his car, but I don't think I did, because coming into this hairpin now, he didn't come and, you know, get revenge on me or whatever. So that was good, as the Lotus just drives himself off. Now this is the normal layout, doesn't have those little weird S's there, so this is where I can really open up the gears in the 512 TR and just stretch the legs and really pull a gap on everyone. This spoon curve, I mean, Suzuka in general is just a technical track that you really need to know how to get right, and I'm definitely not an expert at this track by any means. If I'm an expert at any track, but yeah, so you get through there, no worries. Coming onto the straight, and pretty much nothing happened until the start of second lap, and at the start of the second lap I had quite the gap, so I thought, you know, I'm going to slow down, let these guys pass, because I do obviously like racing instead of just walking away into the distance. So as we come into the second part of the first corner, the Lotus sort of maybe gets thrown off by me slowing down, which is fair enough. I get thrown off if I see a car slowing down and falling as well. So we're down into 5th place now from first, climbing the S's with Animal behind us in a Lancer. Now, as we get closer to the top, he gives us a little bit of a nudge, but that's cool. You know, that's all expected. He's probably in a handling car, whereas I'm more towards a power car. Coming up to the left-hander, we've got our nose just scraping the back rear quarter panel. The back rear quarter panel, that's right, of the Integra. Now look, we got the Lancer inside. Now let's slow it down. He's ahead of us there, but then as we start turning, we'll just pause it. As we start turning, I'm clearly ahead of him, albeit I've turned in far too early. All of us have turned in far too early, but you can clearly see that I'm ahead. Now, let's just speed it up. He gives me a tap. I go sort of get thrown off into the gravel trap. He must have followed us as well, because in a second I'll look behind. He's regathered himself, but I don't think he's very happy about it, because what's about to happen next, I don't really believe is warranted, but hey, he obviously did not like that I did not let him through, I guess. So I'm coming through here, taking it nice and easy, and slam. Down goes the SCUDERIA 21. So at this point I'm very upset. I want to take revenge, which I don't recommend. I don't recommend you take revenge unless it's super necessary and you're guaranteed to get it right, because if you just hang out for a second, you're going to see what happens when you don't get it right. Yeah, so really the best way to get revenge is to make sure you're absolutely going to nail it, otherwise you look stupid, because he would have seen those proximity arrows go flying. So anyway, I thought, okay, well, let's wait till the next race and see what happens to Animal in the next race. Now, he's changed cars to an NSX, and he's actually, coincidentally, right in front of us. So we take the start of the race, both of us getting quite the start, him cutting through, just grazing a little bit with the, what car is that, Jaguar? Aston Martin? Not too sure. Anyway, so we're coming to the first corner. I thought, this is brilliant. I can really take a revenge on him. And I was thinking, yes, no, and then someone took him out for me. So that was a bit of a, justice being served without me looking like a bad guy. So, Road Atlanta. I love this track. It's a great flowing track. It's short but sweet, and I don't know how to explain it. Just for some reason, I really do enjoy this track quite a bit. Now we find ourselves in the lead, coming up onto this little back straight towards the two right-handers. This next right-hander coming up, has a bit of camber, so it does help you turn in, but you don't want to overshoot it, because otherwise you'll just go straight into the sand trap. There'll be bad times. Finding first gear, come through the little right-hander, and you really want to get that right-hander correct, because you want to maximize your efforts all the way down this long straight. Some people could say this is almost a mixture between a power track and a grip track, just for the simple fact that it's got such a long back straight. But I'm a person that will always opt for a grip car over a power car. I just prefer being able to, absolutely annihilate corners. So anyway, coming down to finish the first lap, and from this point on, it pretty much just walked away with the lead. So I'm gonna skip ahead to the little back straight before the two right-handers and do a bit of interior view. And at this point, I'm going to chuck on some beats, because for me, driving with music is always amazing. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed that tasty tune, and like I said, this is the first video. This brings us to the end. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave in the comments section below how I can improve, if I was cancerous for you, and just in general, hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out this outro. Peace out.